Look, who are we talking to about these scripts?
What's wrong with them?
Have you read it? The whole first page is taken completely out of My Big Fat Greek Wedding. The rest is just swear words and wildfire jokes. I would like to go ahead and just file wildfire jokes into the always too soon bin.
I don't know. It could work.
How? How could it work? In a let's burn down the station kind of way?
Sounds like a fire joke to me. Besides, all the writers are on strike until they get their raises.
But they don't get paid, and they'll never get paid. The point is mute.
You mean moot. The point is moot.
What did I say? What the frack?
Dear host, new guy relieved himself near power outlet number 2. Reshoot tomorrow. Maybe we can write the script now?
You know, if he ever comes back, I'm rubbing his nose in it. That's why you put down newspaper. Ah. No, I just want one perfect day. Just one.
Well, with the magic of TV, we can have a perfect day.
What do you mean?
Please, enjoy this interview with Stuart Kelban.
Tonight on CCF, we have professional screenwriter and Professor Stuart Kelban. Thanks for being here. Now, Professor, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started?
Well, I never meant to go into screenwriting. I guess the short answer is I started by writing fiction. I wrote short stories. I was an English major as an undergrad, took a lot of creative writing courses, and then went on to grad school and got my MFA in fiction writing. Always loved movies, like everyone else, every other red-blooded American. But really just thought I'm going to write fiction for the rest of my life. Started to get, some stories published, and then one day I got a phone call from a friend of a friend of a friend kind of thing who had read my fiction, and he was in LA and he was a stranger, and he said, you ever thought of writing a screenplay? And every fiction writer does, because little dollar signs go off in their heads and they think I can write a screenplay, make $1 million, and then go back to writing my fiction. So I talked to him, flew out to LA, met with this guy for about half an hour over drinks in a bar. We decided to write a screenplay, and we ended up being writing partners for almost 20 years.
Wow.
And I never wrote another page of fiction again.
Do you think that screenwriting is an art, or is it a craft? Is it skill?
It can be an art, but it's usually a craft. When you talk about Pirates of the Caribbean 4, I have a hard time calling that art, but it is a craft. 95% craft, occasionally art.
Okay. What do you think it's the difference between a good writer and a great writer?
Like with all artists, it's about sensibility. It's about an artist's, distinctive, singular vision of the world and of life.
Do you think your English background really has helped?
Yeah, I do. I think, studying literature, studying, great writers, old writers, modern writers, that really helped. It helps me bring something else to the table. I think it's important, that you're not just a product of films and studying films. That I think it's important, especially for a screenwriter, right? That you have something else to draw on. It used to be called life experience.
You think that's one of the best advices you can give in terms of somebody that wants to break into it, wants to become a writer?
I think my best advice is actually to do what you're doing, which is to learn how to watch movies and read scripts as a craftsperson and not as a fan, right? So to really, my advice is to learn how to learn from the best. Just try to figure out how did they do it, As a craftsperson, you really need to kind of see the puppet master, behind the curtain.
So for the struggling writers out there, what do you suggest for those stuck in cliches or experience some sort of writer's block?
My feeling is, the reason people write in cliches is because they're lazy, or because they take the first idea that occurs to them. But if it's the first idea that occurs to you, it's also going to be the first idea that occurs to the audience.
What should a screenwriter do to get their script noticed? Do they need to move to LA? I guess that's more of a pragmatic question.
I mean, I would say yes, they need to move to LA, but I'm a hypocrite because I never lived in LA. But I was able to do it because my writing partner lived in LA. Moving to LA is really important. I just had an ex-student, a grad student, tell me that, you know, she's up for a staff writing gig at a TV show because she was, you know, again, she was at a party and got sucked into a conversation and started to talk to someone, and there you go, you know, and that only happens if you're in LA, you know, that kind of networking. It really does function like that. But as otherwise, you know, especially for students and people in grad school and out of grad school, competitions are good. You know, the big competitions get you noticed. If you know, winning is great, but even if you place high, you know, the lists make of who were the finalists of, you know, of the big competitions. They make the rounds of the agencies in LA, and they'll contact you, and that's a really good, and that's happened to a number of students.
So do you see it more of like just writing, and if your work is good, they'll come find you?
No.
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 So you really need to get your work out there.
Yeah, you need to be your own agent. That's the horrible thing, because look, all the kind of, you know, popular conceptions about what agents and managers do are based on something that used to exist in the 30s and 40s and 50s in Hollywood. But it's just not that way anymore. If you're a screenwriter, you have to be your own agent. You have to promote yourself, go to meetings, go to parties, meet people, you know, get yourself out there, which is really hard because most writers are antisocial trolls that stay in a room by themselves for a reason, you know. So it's tough. It's tough.
Hola, everyone. Who's ready for another killer show?
Alright, settle down now. Settle down.
But before we get started, let's have some smiles all around. I can't take it anymore. Mute it.
You mean mute it?
What did I say?
We'll figure it out after this commercial.
Hey, Lindsay. How are you doing that? Because I'm a better version of you. I dress like you want to dress. I talk like you want to talk. I'm smart, capable, and most importantly, I'm free in all the ways you are not.
Wouldn't go that far.
Oh yeah? Look at this.
Is that?
Yeah,
They must die.
but only after this short film. Here's Jackie Bryan's Spilt.
don't know, man. It could be cool. We could be like the Lohan twins in The Parent Trap.
That was one person.
Really? We could be like the twins in The Social Network.
Also one person.
My brain hurts. I'm gonna stop talking.
Look, there's only one way to settle this. Host off.
A host off? Lindsay, that hasn't been done since Walter Cronkite won in March 1st, 1935.
Accepted. But if you would like to learn how to make a split screen, check out this do-it-yourself tutorial. What the FX?
What the FX?
Welcome to What the FX, where we show you how to make movie magic.
Today we're going to show you how to make clones using split screen and editing.
What you'll need: a camera, a tripod, and editing software.
Editing? I've got this.
What do you mean you've got?
To the time machine!
During the shoot, you'll want to use a static camera. This means you'll want to use a tripod, so that way you don't get any camera movement. Then you want to shoot 2 different takes of the scene. One for each of the characters. Make sure to shoot each of the clones on different sides of the screen. One on the left and one on the right. In your editing software, you'll want to crop the extra space off of each clip and lay the clips on top of each other. Because the camera didn't move when you shot each take, the clips will match up together in the middle, giving you an invisible cut. Where did that other guy go?
I've made it! I've created an army of clones!
They don't even look like you.
What do you mean?
Hey, I thought there were gonna be chips at this party.
I'm out of this sausage festival.
Where are we?
To the time machine!
Guys?
What the FX?
Because the camera didn't move when you shot each of the clips, when you shot each take. Oh. During the shoot, you'll want to use a static camera. This means you'll want to use a tripod, giving you an invisible cut. Movie magic! Blah 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 blah. Fun awesomeness.
To the time machine!
Again?
To the time machine! To the time machine!
And last
To the
one.
time machine!
And cut.
Oh my god! Oh god! Why? Ah! Somebody should be a pterodactyl. Be a pterodactyl, Kirby. You can do it.
I can't. She's too toasty.
Poppycock! You have to beat her. You just have to.
Actually, inferior Lindsay is correct. I am the perfect host, and therefore, I shall win. It is a mute point. Wait, you mean moot point? I'm scared. Don't worry. We'll still have perfect hair wherever we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, you gonna send us off?
No, Dalton. You do it.
Thank you for watching Capital Cineforum. If you would like to rewatch any of today's short films, or like to see more of the interview with Stuart Kelban, please follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Capital Cineforum.
And if you have any short films you'd like to showcase on Capital Cineforum, send us an email with a link to your film at capitalcineforum@texasstudenttv.com.
So my first question, and I'm really excited to talk about this topic, is what is film? Film is a series of still photographs attached to a strip of celluloid, projected so as to simulate motion.
Why do you think film works as such an effective storytelling medium?
The conventional answer is it hits us at so many levels simultaneously. It's visual, it's audio, it's music, it's pictures, it's color, it's spectacle, it's big. There's so many ways that it can grab you. I remember the first movie I saw, and I was, maybe 4 years old, 5 years old. And my older brother took me to see Cinderella. And I had never seen it. I'd heard people talk about movies, but I'd never seen a movie. It was so overwhelming, and I'm still trying to figure out what happened.
What do you think it takes nowadays to be a successful filmmaker?
I think it's just going inside of yourself and figuring out what is it I want to say. What do I have to say? What story do I want to get out there? And I think if you can find that and be true to that, your films will stand out automatically because you're different from me. So I think that's the other part of it, is just really figuring out what is it, what's my voice, and then trusting your voice.